Hello, my dear friend. Let's learn everything about Nipah virus present outbreak in India in this session. And the main question which should be coming to your mind is definitely how dangerous is Nipah? Can it kill us? Should we be scared of it? How to protect ourselves and our family member from Nipah, and how to identify a case of Nipah early. Because I think you all must be knowing there is no proven vaccine for Nipah yet, and there is no treatment for Nipah yet. So let's answer the first question first. What is Nipah? So we can learn everything about it from the mnemonic Nipah also. The natural host of Nipah is a fruit bat of the family Petropodidae and genus Petropus. This fruit bat is carrying the Nipah virus, and the Nipah virus is from Paramyxoviridae family, and the genus is Nipah virus. Okay, so this is the natural host, but main thing is how we get infected with Nipah. Three method. First method, this fruit bat, while doing sex or while naturally drinking date palm sap, it can put some of its secretion or saliva into date palm sap. Date palm sap is known as tadi or kal in many areas. Todi also we call it. So this date palm sap can carry some secretion which can infect us. But other method is, if a fruit bat has eaten a fruit half and we are eating the remaining fruit, then we can again have saliva of fruit bat in that fruit and we can have the infection. The third method is pig, which act as an amplifier host, and that can also transmit the infection to us. Then, if suppose there is a patient who is having Nipah infection, then through the secretion of patient airway, it can come to us, like patient saliva or droplets can come to our respiratory pathway and we can be infected. But main problem is Nipah cause encephalitis, is struck our head, and it lead to all the symptoms of encephalitis, starting with confusion, then seizures, and coma and death also can occur, of course. So, main question, should we be worried? Answer is yes. Because the case fatality rate for Nipah is 40 to 75%. That means, if there is total case of Nipah is 100, out of those 100 case, 40 to 75 of the patient will die. And how dangerous it is, you can compare it with COVID and understand it better. For corona, the case fatality rate was 1 to 3%. That means if there is 100 case of corona, only 1 to 3 patient will die. But as we said, if there is 100 case of Nipah, 40 to 75 will die. So it's much deadly than COVID, and it is a dangerous disease. But should we be worried? Answer is no. We should be alert but not worried. Why? First reason which Government of India press release gave was that on 28th January today, there is just 2 cases and none of them had died yet, but they are in ICU of course. And there are 196 contact, all traced and all of them tested negative. So we should not be worried according to Government of India, because the cases are contained. But you might trust government or might not trust it. So let me give you the real logic why we should not be so much worried, because already 11 outbreaks of Nipah have occurred in the world. And many of the people who are not from medical background, they are hearing about Nipah for the first time. It means none of the time it caused wide level pandemic. So it can be contained this time also if it has been contained already 11 times earlier. The first outbreak was in Malaysia and Singapore. It was the biggest outbreak in 1998-1999. It caused Nipah in around 265 cases and death were 105. And this infection in Malaysia occurred near Nipah river of Malaysia. That's why we call it Nipah, name of the river. Then the second epidemic occurred in 2001, January-February winter season in Siliguri, West Bengal, where the cases were 66 and death were 45. After this, there were more than 7 epidemics which occurred almost every winter in Bangladesh in different areas, causing some 50% death in the cases. But the cases and death you can see are not too much, okay, but still problematic. Then one more time in West Bengal, in Nadia district in 2007, the outbreak has occurred. So there were already in the past 2 outbreaks in West Bengal already has happened. And at that time, there were only 3 deaths reported from Nipah. Then in Kerala, as we all know, in 2018, in Kozhikode, Malappuram area, there was the first outbreak which has 18 to 23 cases, out of which 17 to 21 died. Then the second epidemic in Kerala occurred in 2021 in Pazur, then in 23 in Kozhikode, and you can see that cases and deaths were less than 5 in those two outbreaks also. So because earlier 11 outbreaks we are able to contain it, so we can contain it even this time. But main thing is we should know how to protect ourselves and our family member from it. Of course, first thing is avoid drinking date palm sap in this time when the outbreak is there, है ना? Especially in West Bengal, है ना? You should not drink tadi or date palm sap. Avoid those fruit which are eaten by bat and or any bird. If you see the bite mark, don't eat that fruit. And avoid contact with sick pig or sick animals. But one main thing is, if you found any patient of Nipah or any patient who have fever, breathing difficulty, and altered sensorium, it means he is talking about something which does not make sense, and a nonsense talking, confusion, dizziness, all those things which you may say that now the patient brain is affected with fever and respiratory symptoms. If you found these things, definitely wear the mask, maintain a distance from that patient, and ask for urgent medical evaluation of this patient, that whether he have Nipah or not. And if the patient come positive for Nipah on RT-PCR or ELISA, definitely isolate the patient. So if you have, suppose, came in contact with someone who have fever, breathing difficulty, altered sensorium, then you should be quarantined for 14 days, because the incubation period for Nipah is 4 to 14 day. So 14 day is the quarantine duration. Incubation period means the time gap between entry and appearance of first symptom. So sometimes the first symptom can take up to 14 days to appear. So if you are just suspecting some healthy person that he might be carrying Nipah virus infection, keep him in a separate room, quarantine him till maximum incubation period of 14 days. And if in 14 days no symptom came out, then you can release him. Now he is not carrying the pathogen, it is proven. Okay. So remember to quarantine for 14 days if you found this type of symptoms in a patient. And how will you identify Nipah early so that you can quarantine the person, or so that you can isolate the person? So if anyone has fever, headache, myalgia means there is this type of body ache, and then vomiting and sore throat. The URTI symptom if you found in anyone. And along with this is the early way to identify URTI symptom. But you know, URTI symptom is commonly occurring in these cold weather. So along with URTI symptom, be sure to focus on these things: dizziness, drowsiness, and altered sensorium. Because if this thing occur, it can go to encephalitis, can cause seizure, and in next 24 to 48 hour patient can have coma. But one more thing you have to look carefully is the symptoms suggestive of respiratory infection, which will be atypical pneumonia, severe respiratory problem like acute respiratory distress, there will be breathing difficulty, and on pulse oximeter you can find SpO2 saturation less than 94%. So what the test you will write in such patients? Test will be RT-PCR or ELISA. We can do virus isolation by cell culture. Usually, if patient recover, they recover completely, but 20% patient can have residual neurological symptoms, like can have some neurological problem even after recovery. Like they can have personality change, or they can have seizures on and off like that. Residual neurological defects can be there. Effects can be there. Second thing, patient can have seizures even after recovering in some cases. So that's all about Nipah, which is written in PARC also. And I hope you will not be worried but alert. So keep enjoying your life and be alert. Don't be worried. Okay. Thank you so much. Hasta la vista. Thank you.